It's the Daily Beat on KBEY 103.9. How you doing? I'm Ben Shields. Have Dakota Morrissey with me. He's news editor of dailytrib.com. Dakota, how's your week going the last week of February?
Oh, it's awesome, man. This is my birthday month.
Mine too. Happy birthday,
that's
man.
Right. You know, everybody, we get to pick a cake for our birthdays. We got German chocolate. It's terrific.
Between the two of us, the others in the office are lucky that they even get a piece with our love for German chocolate cake. Yeah,
the cake.
You better get a piece before Dakota gets that cake, otherwise it'll be all gone.
That's right.
All right, Dakota. So as always, lots going on in the Highland Lakes, and the story that's been going on for at least a couple months now, looking for a Burnett County judge, and the beat goes on. What's happening in regards to that, Dakota?
Well, we have another update on this county judge selection process. Our reporter, Elizabeth De Los Santos, she goes to all the meetings, follows up on these things. And the latest word is that we still don't have a judge, which is something that we kind of expected because if you remember on February 11th, they have this deadlock vote where 2 want one guy, 2 want another guy. It doesn't go anywhere. We got the agenda for this coming meeting. And they said, we're not going to pick anybody, but we may talk about it in a closed session for legal advice. And that's where we were left until Elizabeth spoke with the commissioners and got a little better idea of what's going on. So basically, there is no procedure in place for how you get a judge. If somebody resigns like that on a commissioner's court, they just have to figure out how to pick the next guy. And so they came up with this big process of taking applicants for a few weeks. Like you said, this goes all the way back to the beginning of January. They did a forum. They took questions from the public. They have this open meeting where they say, hey, we're going to pick the guy. And then it's just a 2-2 vote. The court has 5 people minus the judge. You get 4 commissioners, and they're split down the middle. 2 guys want Chief Deputy Alan Trevino, who applied. He threw his hat in the ring immediately.
He's with the Burnett County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, and then we have a retired district judge, Gil Jones, who stepped up and said, hey, I'll finish out Oakley's term until the coming election. So you have the commissioners split on this. There is no set vote, but Elizabeth did talk to all 4 of them, kind of got their idea, and it sounds like they really want to hash this out at their next meeting on March 11th. So while everybody kind of thought, hey, we'll have a new judge by February, it just hasn't played out that way because when you have 4 guys, it just creates a possibility of a split down the middle vote.
And I'm not sure if this has ever happened in Burnett County before where they had to find a judge in the middle of a term. So this is new for everybody, and they're just trying to feel things out, I guess.
Yeah, and it's, the end of Oakley's term was so kind of controversial because he resigned amid a lot of things going on. So I think that's still boiling over into this selection process, and that's what we're kind of seeing play out here. But hopefully they figure it out. And like I said, March 11th, they all said we're gonna either come up with a new process, maybe take in new applicants, maybe they'll sway each other one way or the other. But I think we'll learn some more then.
And this term is through the end of 2026.
That's right. So whoever they pick is going to be here through 2026. And then, of course, leading up to that, you're going to have the Republican primary,
right.
which in Burnett County is pretty much the election.
So that's about a year from now, right?
Yeah, this time next year, essentially. Okay. So whoever they pick is basically going to be running things until the end of 2026. But then during the primary time, they're going to be also in charge. So it's going to be kind of a, let's say somebody wanted to keep running, they're going to be the judge while that's happening. Or if they didn't want to run, they would, the candidates would be sort of duking it out for the primary in this time next year.
All right. Again, you can read more about what's going on with the Burnett County Judge, dailytrib.com/subscribe. All right, Dakota, so last week you and I were both belly aching, being guys from the South, talking about this cold weather. Well, we're not going to be belly aching this week because the weather has been just fantastic. It has been Chamber of Commerce type weather. Looks like it's going to be that way for quite a while. And with that, we're getting close to spring. festivals. It's festival time. Things are starting to pick up, so I know y'all are starting to cover what's going to be happening as far as festivals as well in the Highland Lakes.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of what we do. Sometimes new festivals spring up, sometimes the tried and true ones come out, and it's our job to stay on top of that. Just in March, to rattle a few off, you have the Bluebonnet Air Show, which is March 15th. Which is huge. It's growing every year. It's pretty big for our little area. I don't know. Have you ever been out there?
I have.
It's cool.
Yes.
Especially when they do the flamethrower. That's my favorite part. We have Granite Fest, which we talked about the other day. It's supposed to be bigger and better than ever on March 22nd in Granite Shoals.
That's going to be a day-long event, right?
Yeah, it's huge. They're going to cap it off with fireworks. They're trying to do a Highland Lakes festival, not just a small community get together. So they seem pretty dedicated. I've talked to all the leaders, and
I feel like we haven't had very many fireworks shows in the spring, so this will be unique for the area to have a fireworks show. Usually they're around the 4th of July or around New Year's, but to have one in March, I think will draw a crowd.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not burning hot or freezing cold,
right.
But you never know. And something I'm excited about, I live in Llano, and we have the Llano Earth Art Festival, LEAF, coming back. We thought it was going to be canceled. It's had a rough few years, but all the artists got together, and they're hosting that.
Is it in a different form, or is it the same? Is it going to be the exact same way, or is it a little bit different?
I think it'll be a little different. It's not going to be so it sounds like it's going to be free to get in first. So it's going to be donation based, and it's going to be more focused on the art, I think, because it's been more of a show and a festival, and this time around it's just going to be, I don't know if you've been out there, huge rock stacks.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, and that's going to be over the end of March 28th through the 30th. So we're talking, that's 3 weekends in a row. It's like you said, it's spring festival season, so we got something pretty much every weekend coming up.
All right, so you can read all about the spring festivals happening. You can go to dailytrib.com/subscribe. And also, we talked about looking for a Burnett County judge still, and that process is still ongoing. And Daily Trib is doing a great job, you and Elizabeth, keeping the readers informed. And so be sure and check out dailytrib.com. All right, Dakota, well, I guess this wraps up another Daily Beat.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man. Thank you.
All right, until next week. Thanks, Dakota.